Hi everyone, my name is Ravi Prakash and welcome to Unacademy Plus. So in this session we will be discussing about some very good PYQs, actually some good PYQs which are a bit unexposed. Okay, so you know that there are a lot of PYQs in the market floating, all those common questions okay of previous year CAT, right? But my focus will be to bring out something, some good questions, some good concepts, especially from those period of CAT which is basically not so much in the market, like of the period of CAT 2009 to 2015 or 2016, right? So I'll be focusing on this part basically because these PYQs are not so much common in this exams, in this courses, floating online and offline. Okay, and you will see a lot of good questions were asked in this 8 years in CAT, especially CAT was in multiple slots in these in 2012, 13 and all, right? So quite a lot of good questions were there, right? So let's discuss few questions out of this to make to have a good revision also and to gain some good concepts also, right? Okay, let's start, guys. So let's start off with question number 1 actually. So question 1 says that, okay, so let me just put heading also. Okay, so basically bit uncommon PYQs of CAT I'll put here. Okay, uncommon PYQs of CAT. Okay, fine. Sure. Let's start now. Okay, so look at the first question here, guys. So this basically first question says that, yeah, find n. Okay, find n if 2 raised to 200 minus 2 raised to 192 into 31 plus 2 raised to n is a perfect square. Is a perfect square. Okay, so this is a question of CAT 2015, right? This is a question of CAT 2015. Okay, so let's solve it. So if you look at this question, guys, so I need to find the value of n for which 2 raised to 200 minus this is a perfect square. Okay, so basically what I'll try and do here, I'll just try to take this is common, right? Okay, so it's more of a logical question, guys. Okay, so just because seeing this question can make you somebody in the first instance can say, okay, how to solve such kind of question, right? But it's a quite logical question. See the approach actually. So what you should have done in this question actually, so just try to take this is common, right? So from first two terms I'll just try to take this common here. Okay, so just try to take this 201 2 to the power 192 is common. I'll get 2 raised to 8 minus 1. Okay, 2 raised to 8 minus 1 into 31, correct, right? Yeah. Okay, this is a plus 2 raised to n. So what I'll get here now, I'll get 2 raised to 192 and this becomes what? This becomes 2 raised to 8 is 256 minus 31, this becomes 225. So it's directly right here, 2 raised to 192 into 2 raised into 225 plus 2 raised to n. Now obviously for this whole to become a perfect square here, right? So you want this term to become a perfect square actually. So for this to become a perfect square here, what actually we want is these terms here, right? These terms actually I should factorize it by taking something common. So obviously if I take something common from here, so let's say for example I take 2 raised to 192 as common, obviously, right? Then I'm left with something 2 raised to 25 and then something should come inside the bracket, right? That's how your mind should work here, that something should come inside the bracket such that this term becomes a perfect square, right? So basically 225 plus some term should become a perfect square actually. Okay, so in this case, if and basically we had the options also in this question, could be theta question also. I could also say find the basically the question should be actually find the minimum value of n without the options. Okay, or in the theta question, right? So I want some value of n here which will make it a perfect square here. So that means what I should do actually, I should just add what? So obviously 225 plus any value which will make it a perfect square. So I think 225, if you know, it should be a 15 square, right? So if it is actually 15 square, if you observe that after 15 square I want to get 16 square. So in 225 I need to add 31, but 31 is not of the form 2 raised to n, right? So I cannot add it actually. Fine. Or anything, if I take something common from that, I will not take anything common here. Okay. Then 225 plus 64 is 289. So 64, yes, it is of the form 2 raised to 6. That means I can make this term as 64 here. So 64 means what, guys? Actually, if you got to think, 64 basically means what here? It means that 2 raised to 192 should be like 225 plus 2 raised to 6. And if you again break it, it should become 2 raised to 192 into 225 plus 2 raised to 198. So basically this should have this term actually should be 2 raised to n should be 298 here. Okay, sorry, 190 2 raised to 198 here, that means n should be 198. So n is equal to 198. That should be the answer of this question. Correct, right? So clear to everyone? Okay, now let's go to the next question actually. So basically this next question we'll see. Okay, so the next question is again a good question. Look at this question, guys. This question says that A, B, C are distinct natural numbers. A, B, C are distinct natural numbers. Okay, less than 25. Less than 25. Fine. So what is the maximum possible value of? What is the maximum possible value of mod of A minus B plus mod of B minus C plus mod of C minus A? Again, a very nice question, very logical question, very good question. This was right. Perfect cat kind of question where they want you to think on this spot here. Okay. So A, B, C are distinct natural numbers less than 25. What is the maximum possible value of mod of A minus B plus mod of B minus C plus mod of C minus A here? Fine. Let's solve it, guys. Dekho. So actually, if you understand this question, so we know the basic meaning of mod, right? Basically, what do you mean by mod x? So basically mod of, or if what do you mean by mod of x minus k? So mod of x minus k basically means that whatever is the distance between 2 points on the this number line actually, right? For example, if this should be x and this should be k, so mod of x minus k should be distance between x and k, right? Irrespective of the sign of x and k, that means whichever is left or whichever is to the right on the number line. For example, if I have this let's say x is 10 and k is 15, so the mod of x minus k should be equal to 5. That means the distance here, right? Distance of 5 units. The distance can be, it could be either 10 to 15 or could be 15 or 10 to 15. It doesn't matter, right? The distance of 5 units basically. So, oh, I'm sorry, actually, this I think is minus sign, guys. Okay, so this is minus sign here. Yeah, this is minus sign. Okay, so now if you try to understand this pattern, this question here. So basically this question says that now mod of A minus B is again distance of. So if you try to just observe this question, right, something like what is this question all about? So mod of A minus B is distance between A and B on number line. Okay, fine. Mod of B minus C is again distance between B and C on number line. So I can place C anywhere, right? If I can place C in middle also, or I can place C in the right side also, right? So let's, for example, if I put C here. So if I put C here, so but what will happen now? Distance of A minus, what is mod of A minus B? This is this distance. Okay. What is mod of B minus C? This distance. So plus sign, right? Plus sign. So let's say this distance is x and this distance is y. So this is actually till now it is x plus y here, right? And then minus mod of C minus A. So minus means difference between C and A here. Okay, difference between C and A here, right? So distance between C and A here. So that is again, that is basically minus of x plus y. So it will become 0, right? It will become 0 actually. So it won't give me maximum value. No? I wanted to, what is the maximum possible value? So obviously, if B is in between A and C here, it won't give me the maximum possible value, right? So basically what I want in this case here is, that means this case is not possible, right? That means B is somewhere either to the left of A or to the right of C, correct? So I just want to, I want to maximize this value also. Okay, so basically funda here is I want to maximize this value, mod of a minus b plus mod of b minus c plus mod of c minus a. I want to maximize this value here. So once I want to maximize this value here, so I just sorry, this plus again minus sign. Okay, so once I want to maximize this value here, so these two are plus sign, right? So I want to maximize this part such that I want to always do maximum minus something minimum, right? So the value should remain maximum. So for maximum minus minimum, if I have to assign a, b, c a distinct natural number less than 25, so to make this part minimum, I can assign 2 and 1 in any order, right? It could be like 1 and 2 or 2 and 1 because it is modulus, it won't make any difference. So mod of c minus a is basically 2 minus 1, that is 1. Okay, so here I'll get actually 1, fine. That means if I assign 2 and 1 here, and then the b, I should assign the other extreme, such that this difference from b to a or distance from b to a and distance from b to c is to be maximum. So if they are less than 25, so let's say I can assign 24 to b. So I have assigned c to 2 to c, 1 to a and 24 to b. So what it does actually, so it makes that mod of, what is the mod of a minus b, guys? So let's say 1 minus 24, this is 23. Okay, what is mod of b minus c? 24 and 2, that's 22. Correct. And minus 2 minus 1. Next question is of CAT 2012. Okay, again a question which we can make directly easy, right? So basically question is what? Find what is the number of scalene triangles here? Okay, what is the number of scalene triangles that can be formed of course of integral sides if perimeter is equal to 28. Okay, so we know this funda, right? Actually, again, so just to remind you that number of scalene triangles is what? Number of scalene triangles is what? This is equal to what? P square, p minus 6 square by 48. Okay, once this is an even number, p minus 6 square by 48, right? And this is basically for all the even number. And this, what does this bracket means? If you remember, this means nearest integer function. Nearest integer function. It basically means what? 4.1 is equal to 4. 4.9 is equal to 5 in this nearest integer function. And here it is 4.5, it actually remains 4 only. Okay, so that's the meaning of nearest integer function, right? So this is p minus 6 square. This is standard formula. I taught it in my YouTube channels also, right, about this. So what is p here? P is 28. So 28 minus 6 whole square upon 48. That will be 22 square by 48. That will be 484 by 48. That will be, I think, 10 point and is less than 5, right? So I don't want to calculate exactly, right, but it is less than 10.5. So if it is less than 10.5, then what is the value here? This is something less than 10.5, 10.48, 10 to 480, 10.01 kind of, right? So basically 10 is the answer. Okay, so 10 is the answer. Okay, clear to everyone, right? Chalo, let's go to the next question, guys. This was question number 4 we discussed. Okay, let's go to question number 5. And this is again CAT 2012 question. CAT 2012 question. Okay, yeah. Let's move to question number 5. Okay, look at this question, guys. Okay, so the next question here is, guys, the question says that let's say n has x factors. Okay, n square has y factors, and x plus y is equal to 34. Okay, so how many values n is less than 250? How many values n can take? How many values, number of values n can take? That's the question, right? Very good question actually. Number of values n can take here. Chalo, let's solve this question, guys. So if you look at this question here, so I just try to find it, okay, that sum of factors, so basically sum of number of factors of n and n square is 34. Fine. Okay. Now if I just try to put some values or get an idea about the question actually. So what I'll actually think of in this question is that, okay, let's say n has got x factors and n square has got y factors. Fine, agreed. Okay. But x plus y is 34. That means numbers cannot be very large actually, right? Because see, first example I'll take here, sum of number of factors, right? So sum of factors of n plus sum of factors, number of factors of n square is equal to 34. Now I know that any perfect square always has odd number of factors. So any perfect square always have odd number of factors, and this is an even number, right? This is an even number here. That means this also should be odd, such that odd plus odd will become even here. That means n has got odd number of factors. Okay, the very point. If n has got odd number of factors, that means n is a perfect square. That means n is a perfect square. Okay, fine. Once n is a perfect square, then how I can think in this question is actually, okay, perfect square means what? N has basically got even powers, है ना? So that means if n, that basically means that perfect square means n has got even powers, right? So I could think in some direction here, okay, that if n has got even power, then n can be any prime number raised to even power form, right? Or you can think that n can be any prime number raised to some odd power form, basically, right? Okay, so let's say not odd power, sorry, prime number, any double prime number, right? I want to say any double, let's say p1 raised to some 2k1 into p2 raised to 2k2. Okay, or n is equal to some maybe multiple part, right? p1 raised to 2k1 into p2 raised to 2k2, like that it can happen, right? So I don't know actually which is what. But actually in this case, if you see here that n is a perfect square, okay, and if n is a perfect square, that means doing this much will not be so helpful, right? Basically, let me just take you a very a normal funda, right, a common sense kind of approach here. That I know that if n has got odd number factor, n is a perfect square. If n is a perfect square, just check for few perfect square, right? Okay, this can be method 1, right? Just check for perfect. After this, just come here actually. If you think of some perfect square, so what are those perfect squares here that can actually satisfy my equation here? Okay, so let's say 25, right? So 25 is a perfect square, obviously. So if I take n as 25, so 25 has got 5 square. So what is n square? So that means n square has got 5 raised to 4. So obviously 5 square means 3 factors. 5 raised to 4 means 5 factors. 3 plus 5 is 8, right? And looking for 34, much more than that. That basically means that I should try and split n into 2 parts here. So method 2 will be like, I can, sorry, not method 2, sorry. Then second number will be like, I can take some example of splitting into 2 prime number. The least value is what? Something like n is equal to 2 square into 3 square, right? So if n is of this form here, that means 3 into 3 will get 9 factors, and what is n square will get 2, 4 into 3, 4, that is 5 into 5, 25 factors. So 9 plus 25, 34 factor. Satisfied, right? It's satisfied. Once it's satisfied, that means n is of the form what? Of the form a square into b square. This is the general form of n, a square into b square. That's I got, right? Otherwise, the general method would be going like this. So I'll just tell you the approach, right? So you try to pick this one, okay? So once you try to pick this one, that is n of the form p to the power 2k. That means single power. That means n has got 2k plus 1 factors. If you do n square, it will have 4k plus 1 factors. Sum will be 6k plus 2. If that is equal to 34, that means k is not in an integer. That means it is not the form. Similarly, if you come to this part here, okay, that means n has got how many factors here? So even you can sense it's a very big value, right? That even if you take the minimum possible value, that is square here, so p1 is square, p2 is square, p3 is square. How many factors n has got? 3 into 3 into 3, 27 factors. What is n square now? p1 raised to 4, p2 raised to 4, and p3 raised to 4. That means 5 into 5 into 5, 125 factors. total 152 factors, guys. I'm looking for just 34, not that huge number. Okay, that means it is not of this form, it is not of this form, it is of the form in double. It is split in what? It is split in double prime number. So I'll just try to put p1 square into p2 square, and I'll see that it's satisfied. So n is equal to p1 square into p2 square, it's satisfied. So this is a normal approach to do it, right? And this is the kind of just put a bit of hit and trial, right? So that's what I got. I got that n is of the form what? Something p1 square. Let's not write a and b. Let's write here p and q. Okay, p square and q square. So if n is of the form p square and q square, so what I can sense from here is I want the all the values of n that is less than 250. So you can just put all the values here, like n can be what? 2 square into 3 square, that is 36. 2 square into 5 square, that is 50. Correct, right? Yeah. Sorry, 100. Okay. Then 2 square into 7 square, that is 4 into 49 is 196. Okay. Then I can't take 2 square into 11 square because it will just cross that 250 figure. Okay. Then I can come to 3 square. 3 square into 5 square, that is 9 into 25 is 225. Again less than 250, fine, this is also fine. Okay. Then I can't take 3 and 7 also because it will exceed that 250. So basically we have got 4 values, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 4 is the answer for this question. Okay, and this is CAT 2010 question, a beautiful question actually. Correct, right? I hope all of you got this, Anna. Let's move to question 6, guys. Question 6 says that the total number of integer pairs, the total number of integer pairs, okay, x comma y, satisfying the equation x plus y plus xy, sorry, x plus y is equal to xy, x plus y is equal to xy is. Okay. Now let's solve this question, guys. Okay, so how to solve such question here? Okay, x plus y is equal to xy. So if you want to solve this question, so I need to basically factorize it, right? I need to basically factorize it. How do I factorize this equation? That's the actually main agenda of this question here. How do I factorize this question actually? So if you observe this question here, okay, so x plus y is equal to xy, I want to factorize it. So I won't get any idea in this that how do I proceed, right? So for example here, okay, so let's say I can put x plus y minus xy is equal to 0. Correct, right? No, I can't move forward here. Okay, after that I just a point of like a lock point for me. I can't move ahead, right? So I need to think of something out of the box here. So this is standard form, right? We have studied it. You must have studied this in quant. This is standard form of equations here. Which what we do here, x plus y minus xy, and we add 1 to both sides. Okay. Once I add 1 to both sides, so I can easily factorize it, right? Basically, if it is x plus y minus xy, so from here I can take y as common. If I take y as common, it becomes x minus 1. Or sorry, y as common, it becomes 1 minus x. And if you see here, this will be what? If you leave this here, this actually becomes what? Yeah, fine. So basically, if you leave this here, this is x plus 1. So plus x plus 1 is equal to 1. But again, right, if you see here, so this value is not satisfied, no, because this is plus 1 and this is minus 1, it won't factorize, right? So from here you'll get an idea here that let's write here minus 1 and minus 1. Okay, so that basically makes it what? Okay, that basically makes it what? If I put minus 1 and minus 1 here, okay, I'll tell you one more way, guys. One more way. So minus 1 minus 1, okay, so basically this is now if I try to take 1 minus x, now we have got x minus 1 here, so plus 1 into x minus 1 into minus 1 here. Now I can just turn it up, right? Basically it becomes what? Just becomes 1 minus x here, so y into 1 minus x, take minus sign, reverse it, it becomes 1 minus x is equal to minus 1. Now it basically becomes 1 minus x into y minus 1 is equal to minus 1. Just again reverse it, minus of x minus 1 into y minus 1 is equal to minus 1. Cancel this minus sign, that means x minus 1 into y minus 1 is equal to 1. That's one way of factorizing it, right? The other way is, it's a standard formula also, we know, like x plus y equal to xy. So x plus y equal to xy, that means x upon xy plus y upon xy is equal to 1. That means 1 by x plus 1 by y is equal to 1. Okay, so we know that it is factorized like, okay, x minus 1 into y minus 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so this is the way we do it, right? Actually, so from here I directly write like this, Anna. So basically, if you want to know the formula, it is basically, if we have 1 by x, or let's say some a by x, guys, okay, some a by x plus b by y is equal to 1 by c form. It is actually x minus ac into y minus bc, y minus bc is equal to abc square. If you try to observe here, this is x minus 1 into y minus 1 is equal to 1 into 1 into 1 square, like this. Okay, so it's ultimately 1 only. It's ultimately 1 only, right? So now x minus 1 into y minus 1 is equal to 1. So if we try to figure it out, so basically x and y all are integers here. So it will be valid at only two cases, no? So in first case, this both are minus 1 minus 1, and in one case this is both are 1 and 1, right? Because both are integers here. So in one case x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0, right? That would satisfy here. And in the other case x2 and y2 will satisfy here. Okay, so these two cases are possible. Okay, so answer is 2. Answer is 2 for this question. Correct, right? Okay, so I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, fine. Now let's solve a couple of more questions, guys. Okay, so the next question here. Okay, so this is the next question here, guys. So next question is this is CAT 2013 question. Okay, CAT 2013 question, right? So this question is actually it's given that x plus 1 by x is equal to 1. Okay, and p is equal to x raised to 4000 plus 1 by x raised to 4000. Okay, and q be the digit at units place, digit at units place in the number 2 raised to n plus 1. Okay, where n is a natural number that is greater than 1. Okay, then what is the value of p plus q? What is the value of p plus q here? This is the question. Let's solve it. So if you look at this question here, so basically x plus 1 by x is equal to 1, and this is the value, right? So I actually should remember it's a standard formula, guys. Okay, so you should actually remember this, that if x plus 1 by x is equal to 1, it's an standard formula used in advanced algebra also. Okay, so once x plus 1 by x is equal to 1, I should directly write that x cube is equal to minus 1. Okay, that means x cube plus 1 equal to 0. This you should remember. Okay, or you can just prove it also, guys. Okay, so basically you can just see it here. Let's say x, I can just like x square plus 1 is equal to x. That means x square minus x plus 1 is equal to 0, right? You just try to relate this to a square minus ab plus b equal to 0. Correct. So you can just relate identity here, that it is like a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square is equal to a cube plus b cube, right? If you try to relate to this identity here. Okay, so what I can actually write this expression as this one, x square minus x plus 1, and just add this x plus 1 both sides here. Well, basically not add, actually just multiply both sides. So 0 into this is 0 only. Fine, and this becomes x x cube plus 1. Okay, that basically means that x cube is equal to minus 1. This is what I told here actually. So x cube is equal to minus 1, right? So this we should remember only. Okay, now once x cube is equal to minus 1, so you'll think here that fine. So after you write this x cube as minus 1 here, then actually we can write this as x raised to 4000. Okay, try to get in the form of x cube. So x raised to 3 into 1333, and x will come out plus 1 by again x raised to 3 into 1333. X raised to 3 into 1333 into again x will come out. Okay, and this x cube is minus 1. Okay, minus 1, so I'll put minus 1 here. So minus 1 to some odd power here. Okay, into x, and again plus minus 1 into some odd power here into x. This becomes what? Minus x plus 1 by, this becomes minus of x plus 1 by x, and x plus 1 by x I know is 1, so it ultimately becomes minus 1, right? That means x raised to 4000, that basically means what? That x raised to 4000 plus 1 by x raised to 4000 is equal to what? Is equal to minus 1. So once I get this value as minus 1 here, okay, now the question says that and cube is the unit digit at units place of the number 2 raised to n plus 1. So this question actually says that this is quite general, right? You got to understand that it is in very much in general. Q is the digit at units place in the number 2 raised to n. And n is greater than 1. That means it has to satisfy for any number n greater than 1, right? So that means I can put n equal to 2. So if I put n equal to 2, guys, I'll get 2 square. This basically means 2 raised to 4, and this is plus 1 here, so plus 1, it is 17, right? That means unit digit is 7. So its unit digit is 7, right? So basically q is equal to 7. So that is my answer, p plus q, that is minus 1 plus 7. So 6 is the answer for this question. Okay, so again a very good question. As in CAT, you would remember this multiple concepts, right? Then you can solve it. Okay, now next question, guys. Now next question is basically CAT 2014 question, right? In how many ways (600) can be written as sum of consecutive positive integers? Okay, so basically there's a direct formula for this, right? And I've derived in the class multiple times. Okay, so you can just remember right now, guys. So number of ways in which a number can be written as sum of consecutive positive integers is equal to number of odd factors minus 1. Number of odd factors minus 1. Okay, so what is that odd factors minus 1? Because what is the odd factors? So for 600, if you try to factorize this 600, actually this is what this is 3 into 5, so basically 24 and 25 here. So 24 into 25, this is 2 cube into 3 into 5 square. Yes, so this is basically 288 is what? 288 is 2 cube into 3 into 5 square. Since I am looking for only odd factors, I should not at all concentrate on 2 cube here. Okay, that basically means that I need to only focus on odd powers, odd factors. 3 raised to 1 into 5 square. What is the number of odd factors here, guys? Number of odd factors is 2 into 3, 6 odd factors. So what is my answer? My answer is 6 minus 1. That is 5 ways. 5 ways is the answer. What is those 5 ways? Very easy to calculate, right? This is very easy to calculate. A good concept in LRD also. So writing as multiple as sum of consecutive integers, actually what you can do here is like it is 600, no? So in 5 ways, right? So just relate with odd factors. Like 600 has got except 1. That's why this 1 is minus here, right? Except 1, 600 has got 3 as the odd factor. That means 600 by 3 will be 200. And then you can just write 200 in between, and you can take sum of 3 integers. 3 means sum of 3 integers, like 199 and 201. This sum is 600. correct? Then like we have 600 by 5 here, okay, that is 120. So we just put 120 in between, okay, and 5 integers you need to write in symmetrical way. So 2 integers before this, 118 and 119, and 2 after this, 121, 122. Again you will see sum is what? Sum is 600, like that. 3, 5, the next could be, I think 15 should, no sorry, not 15 here. The next odd factor should be 3 into 5 is 15. 15 should be on odd factor, okay. So like that you can proceed actually. Fine. Okay, great. Then let's move to the next question. So again, this next question says that this is one CAT 2012 question, guys. It actually says that P is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5 till 100, okay, and Q is equal to 101, 102, 103 till 200, okay. How many elements of Q? How many elements of Q are there such that they do not have any element of P as a factor? They do not have any element of P as a factor, right? So you can just think over this question for 2 minutes, guys, and you'll get the answer actually. Okay, there's a more of a common sense question here, that P is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5 till 100 and Q is 101 to 200, right? How many elements of Q are there such that they do not have any element of P as a factor? They do not have any element of P as a factor, right? Basically, so in elements of Q should not have any element of P as a factor. P contains everything from 2 to 100, right? So the biggest hint here is that P doesn't contain a 1. P doesn't contain a 1 and it doesn't contain any number from Q also, right? So P doesn't contain a 1 and it doesn't contain any number from Q, right? So basically P doesn't contain these two numbers, 1 and the number itself. If P doesn't contain the 1 and the number itself, that means that means this is what is for prime numbers, okay. That means all the prime numbers in Q, right, they will not have P as a factor in common, okay. So basically any element will not have P as a factor here, okay, because for prime number, like for example 101, if I take 101 has got two factors, only 1 and the number itself, that is 101. So neither 1 is present in P nor 101. Then for the next example 103, again it's a prime number, right? So it has got two factors, 1 and 103. So neither 1 is present here nor 103. So again this is not a prime number, right? So this is a prime number and again including this our answer, right? So basically I should remember that from 100 to 100, 100 to 200 there are 21 prime numbers, okay. That means 21 is the answer. Basically a fact to remember here, that you should actually remember this, that 1 to 50 has got 15 prime numbers, okay. 1 to 100 has got 25 prime numbers and 1 to 200 has got 46 prime numbers. This we should know actually. Correct, right? So okay guys, thank you for the session. I think we have discussed some good concepts and some good quality questions from the CAT previous year questions, which were not so common till now, or a bit of good concepts I have taken from the PYQs, okay. So study well in this last 20 days, study very hard, remain positive, okay. Try to revise everything what you have studied in this your last 3 months, 6 months period, or revise everything, don't forget anything, especially the questions which you got stuck, right? That will improve your mind actually, okay. And all the best for the CAT, okay. Thank you for watching.